make it back to your car. Even Walmart. I mean, things that we take for granted now, nothing is for granted. Even our church, nothing prevents somebody to walk in and start firing like it does with all other churches. But this is darkness. That's what Satan wants you to. Satan wants to tell you, you are left alone. God has abandoned you. And isn't so easy we believe in this lie. We believe it every day, guys. It's infested in our life and we don't even know it. No, you're not alone. Stand up and tell him, no, I'm not alone. Go away, Satan. Why do you have to have this faith? Why do you have to have the faith that you're not alone? Give me 2 or 3 reasons. Okay, I'll make it easy. Go ahead.
Well, number 1, because it's true. Number 2, because if you believe it, you can use it, and you can use him. If you believe you're alone, you'll never turn to him. I don't have anything else.
Excellent. But I'll tell you why. I add to this. First of all, you're baptized. Unless you don't think this is a waste of time. You have been, what did we just have? How many of you had Holy Communion today? So if Christ is inside you, forget about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is inside you all the time. You're not alone. Even if you didn't have Holy Communion, and I'm not saying you don't go and have it, you have to. You have the Holy Spirit. It's baptized. It's called baptism. It's one of the sacraments of the church. So if you don't believe in that, yes. But that alone is not going to make the Holy Spirit leave you. So there is a reason that baptized. Now, if a Muslim guy comes in and tells me, no, I'm not alone, I'm with God, I say, fine. But you haven't followed the rules of what he told you should be what he considers as being with you. It's called the Holy Spirit. You have rejected that. That's your choice and so on. But we Christians are privileged. We have this privilege. It's a privilege. Christianity is a privilege. Everything is possible for a strong person. He or she is not afraid of anything. That is probably a repetition of what I just said, but I want to put it in a different direction. Number 16 here. We're coming. A strong person has faith, hope, and love. That comes out of Corinthians 13. His or her heart has love even towards his or her enemies. By the way, the reason why I put his and her, because I don't want the ladies in this room to feel that it's all about his and he and all that. No, I want you to take it personal. I don't want you to feel like you're left out. A strong person is strong in his or her thoughts, will, execution, goals, and getting things done. This is something Pope Shenouda talked about. You know, in the church today, when there's a project, they go and look for the guy who get it done. He may not even be in the church board. He may not be even anywhere. Abuna will call that guy. He say, our fence is broken. Can you come and fix it? The guy could be somewhere in Oklahoma because he knows he's going to get it done. If he keeps calling other people, they're all going to come up with excuses. I'm busy, I'm here, I'm there, I'm not in here, and all of this. So try to be the person with the reputation that he is the one who gets things done. She is the one who gets things done. I have this feeling towards my wife because she's not here. I can talk to her. I know that if I tell her something and she doesn't look at me, I said, oh. But I know when I come back from work, it's done. Why? Because that's who she is. Have that reputation. Number 19, getting very close. Don't show the last one here. Be careful, Suzette. Don't just, the last one, keep it yourself. A strong person has faith, hope, and love. Okay, a strong person truly believes in his or her faith and his or her church. This is the root cause of our weakness. Because we really don't believe. Because if we do, you don't need me to tell you all these things. And right now we have issues here. Our church is not as united as it used to be. You guys are not young. I'm telling you that. We have issues. And we need to work through it. If we are not united as a church, it's over and done with. If it reaches a point where we are looking for how we can bring down the clergy, how we can bring down the congregation, how we can bring down his or her, the deacons, the servants, this is our goal, okay, let us say our complaints about, let's say that our complaints about clergy is right. Okay, Let's say our complaints about the congregation is right. Okay. Let us say our complaints against the deacons is right. Okay. Church is destroyed. Then what? Then what? A tornado comes and takes this building away. So what? It's all concrete and steel, reinforced, civil engineers. If a tornado came and took our church away, is the church is over? No. Why? Because you and I, you are the church. You, me, and I. We're still alive. Thank God tornado didn't affect us. There was a tornado last couple of weeks that I thought almost came very close to the Richardson Church, the St. Philip Patir, which I love very much. But I prayed to God and said, save our churches, save the people of Dallas. Okay, let's say the tornado took it away. That's it? We don't have any more churches in St. Philip Patir in Dallas? No, we'll build it. We'll build it. 5 years, or maybe minimum 3 years, we'll get it back. But yes, if the congregation is all gone, that's a whole different story. So, even if your church has issues, even if your clergy has issues, and we are right about these issues, congregation have issues, and we are right about it, servants, then what? If we destroy all of us, each other, shoot at each other, and it's all over, then you are gonna be left with what? Empty building? Who cares? We can turn it into a warehouse. So be careful here. You are the church. You must be the one who fight for its integrity. How do you do that? By following all the attributes we just talked about, the last 18 or 16 points. A strong person is strong in his thoughts, will, execution, getting things. A strong person knows his or her purpose in life first and foremost. You guys have an idea what your purpose in life is? Just raise your hand. You don't have to tell me because everyone has a different purpose. You may want to be an astronaut, you want to land on Mars. She may want to be an inventor in the medical field. Yeah, that's a good purpose. I have no problems telling me I want to go to Mars. I really don't. It's great. But at least have something. Don't wake up in the morning and say, I don't know what to do with my day. No, you can't live like that. You have to have a purpose. And you know what is the number one purpose for us Christians? Excellent. Thank you. If you don't know of any other materialistic purpose in life, which should be a good thing, think about how you be somebody who say, oh, she's here. Oh, I'm glad that she's here. Look at the way she's dressed. Wow, I wish everyone follows her example. Oh, he is here. Look how he's here. I wasn't talking about you. Oh, finally, I like this person. Can I go talk to him? It's just because you are a light to the people. They see you, they feel like something good showed up. A light to the world. How many of you would like to pick up your car in a parking lot, especially the ladies, if it is dark? You wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I once did it in the middle of 4 o'clock in the morning in a snowstorm. I have no clue if there is going to be a bear coming my way or not. It's not smart. God took care of you, but doesn't mean He's going to keep taking care of you if you don't use your head. Why? Because it's darkness. You want to be a light to the world, so people like to see you around. Finally, okay, first and foremost, have a purpose. You need to sit down with yourself tonight before you go to bed and define to yourself what's your purpose, so you can keep going on and on and on in life. If you have no purpose, talk to your priest. If you have no purpose, talk to your friends. Talk until you come up with a purpose in life. Go ahead. Is this the last one?
20.
So, a strong person is spiritually strong and determined in his prayers. I'm sorry. If you don't feel like you have a purpose, I misspoke. You need to go to the next step. Talk to God. Should have said that. God doesn't talk to you, by the way. You know that. Maybe if you don't, let us know, because that's a great thing. But He doesn't talk to us like I'm doing to you. He has other ways. He doesn't need to rely on human ways to talk to you. The 5 senses is none of His business. He leaves that to you. But talk to God. Pray to Christ. Jesus, I don't have a purpose in my life. Be honest, guys. Jesus, I pray to you, our Father who art in heaven, so and so. You can say it before that or after that. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no purpose in life. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't feel like I'm a tool in your hands. I have just been told to go to college. My parents tell me, Be nice so that you find a husband to come and marry you. And as a man, my mother tells me, go look for a nice girl so you can marry. And okay, what else do you want? What else? What else am I supposed to do with my life? Be honest with Jesus Christ. You know, St. Anthony, a very quick story. St. Anthony once, most of you know this story. He was doing something with his hand, right? So Satan came, took it and threw it away. اللي هو الخوص اللي بيسموه بالانجليزي الخوص. Weaving. Yeah, exactly. So finally, he gave up and said, Christ, help me from this Satan, because he kept doing back and forth 5 times, throwing things for him. And Christ showed up. He says, where were you all this time? He told him, did you call me and I didn't come? He just wanted him to mention the word Christ. Finally, a strong person is, let's go to the final one.
Christ-like.
You see what it takes to be Christ-like? 20 points minimum. Because it's big. I gave you a reason for your purpose in life. I actually answered it for you. Your purpose in life, be Christ-like. And that's the rest of the story. The Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Qasas al-Qaddisin, the books, the libraries that nobody reads anymore. We're all in our social media thing. Your purpose in life, Christ-like, I'm going to say it, and I hope I don't upset you with that. Christ-like is not in social media. Christ-like is not going to be in a text and being a follower, followed by 1,000 and 1,000,000 people. And the things we see today, social media is nice. It's like a calculator. You know, engineers, when they have calculators, it makes my life simpler because I don't have to do number crunching. A calculator makes it easier. Social media is just a means to make you communicate, but don't make it that this is everything, because it's not going to give you this. Christ-like is never going to change till Christ comes again. It's in the Bible, your knowledge of the Bible, your reading, your insistence and determination to read the epistles, your insistence and determination to read Matthew, Luke, Mark, John on your own. Social media is not going to get you there. Your parents are not going to get you there. I am not going to get you there. The Tawadros is not going to get you there. You, the strong person, know who Christ is, and unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever you want to call it, there's no other way but to do your homework with respect to Bible reading. And if that is too boring for you, hang in there. You know how many times I read the Bible? I'm going to share this with you. I've read the Bible 20 times. I even wrote a book on the Bible that some of you know. Even today, when I start reading the Bible, it's as if I've read it the first time. I saw something I never saw, and I said, I wish I knew, and I put it in my book. It's, when you look at the Bible, if you look at one of Christ's parables, it looks like a small lake. And then you look at it, it opens up like an ocean. There's so many ways you can interpret that parable and say, oh my God, I never thought about it this way. But this is Christ. He's an ocean. But he's saying, you want to see the ocean? You have to see it through an opening that wide. You look at it, man, it looks like a lake to me. Okay, get closer. Okay, just like the window of an airplane. And then the next thing you see, this is an ocean. This is not a lake. So this is what the Bible is. If you ignore that, you're wasting your time. I have wasted my time. If you all agree that Bible is not needed, Bible reading is not needed, I don't need to read the history of the saints or whatever, you just had a very nice evening here, gathering, social, that's about it. And this whole thing is nil and void, doesn't mean anything. Christ is the Bible, and the Bible is Christ. You ignore that, you ignore him, you will never make it to be Christ-like. End of discussion. Any questions on this class? And I'm sorry. Any questions? Come on, don't tell me you don't have anything. Unless you're hungry. Is it lunchtime? Anything to say? Suzette, you want to add anything? Mike? I can tell you.
Thank you.
You want to add anything?
Mm-hmm.
You want to add?
I think the first 15, 20 points that you brought up. I mean, I think it's things that we, as a congregation, we all know it, understand it, but we don't live it. And it's not just in this class. I mean, we were just talking outside about even our Coptic community. When we look at, our society here in the States, it's divided. It's divided because God is not, this country is not God-centered now. And I hate to say this, but sometimes what I look at our actual community here, our church, is suffering the same fate. It's not God-centered.
Symptoms.
So it's a symptom of what's going on around us. So we have to be kind of aware and have that sense of awareness that if we allow for these things to kind of wither away, and if we don't live these 15, 20 points, and it happens over time, and if we're not practicing what we're
It's
preaching,
called erosion.
then you have slow erosion.
Correct.
So.
Yes, ma'am.
So I missed like.
No, you cannot talk. You
Okay,
can
I was
make.
gonna say I missed like the first 19 points. But I have a question.
Yes.
So obviously, as you know, we're called to be cities upon it, like a city upon a hill, right? Do you think that I know we're called to evangelize and stuff, but don't you think we also should just at first strive to focus on ourselves more?
That's what.
Because
the
what
point.
I'm afraid
That's
of
the
is
point.
like we're so focused on like getting people to come that we end up losing ourselves in the process.
Correct.
So that's what I always wondered, because I know we're called to evangelize, but at the same time.
So this is exactly what we talked about, Karen.
Yeah.
The strong person, the attributes of a strong person. The 19 points that.
that
Oh, Suzette, can you
You should be
please
looking more about
share that with the group?
Yes.
This
It was
one.
all about like being
looking at ourselves
centered,
and-
yeah, looking at
Share.
your inner self, then looking at others like that.
So there was group meetings before we came here that they brainstormed it and then we talked about it. I recommend you just go read that. And by the way, the notes that you guys gathered, it'd be nice to capture it. And my recommendation, if you fill up this form, just send it to Suzette or myself or Mike so we can capture that for future lessons and preparations. So don't let this brainstorming session go away unattended. Whoever the group leader is, I'm going to ask you to do one extra thing. Email that information to, I'll say Suzette at this time. All right. Thank you all for listening and
Thanks, Ron. All right, thank you.
Ooh.